So welcome to Module 5, and today we are continuing on with plant-based proteins, and we're going to be talking about pulses. And pulses are a specific group of edible seeds that are found in pods that are dried, and I'm going to show you what they are. So I've got this big, huge container. This is dried chickpeas, so that's one of the groups in the category of pulses. Split peas, so these are green split peas. Lentils, so these are red lentils. You'll also find brown and green lentils often in recipes, so these are our red lentils though. And then beans, and actually these are little mung beans if you've never seen them before. So this includes our pulses family, so it's our chickpeas, split peas, lentils, and beans, and I'm going to try to test you on this in the future and see if you can remember those. So generally you will see pulses in two forms. One would be the dried format, which I just showed you, and another would be in canned format. So you can buy them either dried or canned. I often buy my pulses that are dry, and I end up soaking and cooking them, and you will learn how to do this in the next section where I have the cooking manual with all the information on how to do that, so be sure to check that out. So the reason I typically buy dried pulses is because it's very inexpensive. I mean, it's so inexpensive when you see how much it costs to buy a big bag of dried chickpeas versus buying canned. But I must say that even canned chickpeas are a very inexpensive form of protein, so you cannot go wrong. So you can find your pulses, whether dried or in cans, at either a grocery store. Most grocery stores will carry both, health food stores, as well as bulk stores. So if you're somebody that likes to go fill up your containers, bulk stores will have a wide variety. When choosing canned beans or chickpeas or lentils, I always look for ones that have BPA-free lining on the can. It's just a healthier option. This is actually one of my favorite brands. It's called Eden Organics. These are available in Canada and in the US. And one of the things you want to remember is when you are using any canned pulses is that you're always going to put them into a colander or a strainer and rinse off the brine that is found in the can, because the brine has a lot of salt or sodium. So you just want to be mindful of that to make sure that you rinse off the beans, chickpeas, or whatever you're buying from a can. But look for ones that are BPA free in the lining. Pulses are high in protein, fiber, iron, and potassium. These are such a nutritious food. If you want to maximize the iron that is available in this food, a good way to do so is to pair it with a source of vitamin C. So for example, maybe you were making a black bean salsa, add in some mango. Mango has a lot of vitamin C. Or if you are making the chickpea salad that comes up in the program, maybe squeeze over some lemon. Lemon has a lot of vitamin C as well. So fiber is a type of carbohydrate that is readily available in pulses, and fiber will help keep you full much longer. We do talk about this a lot in the program, and enjoying things like lentils, beans, chickpeas, and split peas, they do really stay with you. They're very satiating because of the fiber. For example, you'd have to eat 2 cups of bran flakes, 4 cups of oats, or 8 slices of whole grain bread to get in the same amount of fiber as 1 cup of beans. That's pretty amazing. One thing I should mention about pulses is that when I'm personally cooking them from the dried format, I tend to make them in bulk, and I do so using my pressure cooker. Many of you may have Instant Pots, so that's an option as well. You can even cook them on the stovetop, and you will learn all about that in the guide for cooking pulses. When I make batches of pulses, so I make a lot, typically say I was going to do some hummus, I would make several cups of dried chickpeas and then cook them and have a large yield of cooked chickpeas. I would use whatever I needed for the hummus for that day, and then I would actually freeze the rest of the chickpeas so that I could use them at a later date. So typically what I do is after I've cooked the chickpeas, I lay them out on a parchment lined baking tray, lay them nice and flat, and then transfer them to the freezer. I allow them to freeze overnight, and then in the morning scrape them off and then transfer them into a bag where they'll be accessible for the next time, say I'm cooking a curry or I'm doing a stir fry that requires chickpeas or whatever it may be. So I always encourage you to make bulk amounts of things so that you have more for later. I mean, you're already doing it, why not make extra? Now, for those of you that aren't used to using pulses, it may be a little bit of a, I don't want to say challenge, but it may be an adjustment if you first start adding in more beans or lentils or split peas or chickpeas into your diet. So the thing is, they can cause a bit of gassiness for people. when they first start eating them, some people get bloated, some people just feel a little bit of indigestion and don't feel that great, and that's because your body isn't used to all the fiber. So when you first start adding pulses into your diet, I recommend starting with small amounts and working your way up. And even if you want to take it a bit farther, if you do struggle with pulses, the best way is to always take them from dried and then cook, soak, and then cook them, which you're going to learn how to do in the second module. So that may help with digestion. Some people find eating canned versions cause them to have a little bit more gas or digestive distress. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to ask questions about this category of foods, because I know for some people it is a bit elusive and it is a bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, trust me, these will become your best friends. I just love pulses. I eat them all the time. They're so versatile. They're such an amazing, inexpensive, and healthy food, and I hope that you really enjoy them, and I will see you in the next one.